That's me. I don't have any slides, so this is the only thing that I'm going to show you. As for the slides, the rest is all demo. That's my Twitter handle, and if it's easy to pronounce, you can call me Nick. And so I work at edX. How many of you here don't know about edX? Okay. How many of you have taken courses on edX? Awesome. So edX is like an online course platform. It's, if you have heard about Coursera or Khan Academy, where there are courses where people can take those courses, like read about it or watch some video tutorial and take some quiz after that course and get a certificate or something like that. So this is similar to that, except that Coursera is private and this is an open source and started by MIT and Harvard as founders of this project. So I work as a Drupal lead for this thing. The site that you see when you go to edX.org is built on Drupal, but the learning management system, the platform itself is built on Python, which I'll show you in a couple of minutes. So like here, I quickly show you what it is to take a course on edX. And by the way, it segues into the talk that I'm giving, like the integration between Drupal and edX. So if you want to learn Drupal, I'm working on a platform because it's an open source thing to help in learning this Drupal through this platform, which will ease it up. So like if you want to take the Linux course, I mean, it's cool. I mean, it's not a required thing to learn about Drupal, but it's good to have a server control and learn about it. Since I've already registered its access. And this is the platform that I was talking. It's courses.edx.org, which is built on Python. And so here is how you will see it, like with the weeks, curriculum, agenda, and you can take the courses, read about it, and take some quiz out of it. Like you can watch some video tutorials and understand it. And the cool thing that I like is not just like other platforms, it's not just multiple choice of quiz, but you can have more game-like interaction, like drag and drop, or for electronics and circuits course, you can actually drag the resistors and build a circuit out of it. And so it's more interactive way of learning something. To show that stuff, let's say if a person is learning about printing, configuring printing and stuff. So like you can watch some video on it, and you can have some interactive configuring, like here it shows instructions to how to configure a printer. Click adding printers and classes. Click add printer. So you've seen it, like, I mean, when you're playing with it, when you're doing the real action, I think it's a good way to learn something instead of just watching something. And so as I have said, this is an open source platform and anyone can build this. If you have a college or you're working for some university or something, you can have this platform for yourself and you can host these courses on your own site. It's code.edx.org and it's an open source platform, which is what I use to come up with some Drupal course that I think will be helpful for people who are interested in learning Drupal. So how these courses are created, like actually this is in my local host, and this is a studio platform where you create the course, and here I already started the course of creation, which like say I have some units, and if I want to add some, it's loading. So the cool thing that I like is the different kinds of problems that you can add. Like you have seen in the Linux course, like there are multiple choice or checkboxes, and you can add more advanced things, as I was saying, the circuit schematic. I mean, not for a Linux course or not for a Drupal course, but for other things like drag and drop, image thing and stuff. So like for the Drupal thing, I have built a prototype kind of things where you can say, like if you're learning Drupal, let's say if you're going through a book, of learning Drupal. Like for Drupal Diner, we are using Drupal book. So, and if you're going through the book and if you're learning stuff, there are some cool. The book is actually very good if you're starting with Drupal. If you don't know anything about Drupal and if you want to come up with a site, they have this cool hands-on thing where they show you the steps on doing it with screenshots and stuff. So let's say the book talks about installing a WYSIWYG editor, and like you can see the hints on what to do, and you can go to the modules. Just because I know how to install thing, I'm just going through it. And you can install modules through interface. And now that we have it, let's say the user checks if that's what he wants. So when he presses check, what is happening in the background is a script is going to the site, logging in as the administrator, and checking if the user has really installed the WYSIWYG thing as required for the site. So it says wrong. So obviously the user, it's not the user, what the user has done is not sufficient for this step of adding a Seek editor library. So he see what's wrong with this. So we can look at the hint. We downloaded the module, but we haven't enabled the module. So we can go to the modules page and enable the module. And so once it's saved, I guess I will check it so to make sure that the WYSIWYG module is installed. But it says that it's not sufficient because even though you installed the module and you enabled it, you didn't configure the module to use the library like the TinyMC or Seek editor. So you can look at the hint and look at the answer to make sure that the library exists and stuff. So that's what I was kind of wanting to come up with, this Drupal platform where learning Drupal would be easier and help you with in each step-by-step process kind of thing. And that's pretty much what I wanted to show and talk. If anyone has any question, I would like to answer.
Yeah.
Sure.
So if you're installing Drupal locally, then you would have to have this platform also installed locally so it can detect what's going on. Is that correct?
Currently, it doesn't work with the local installation, but yeah, this is expecting the site to be publicly available. And because it's a test site, it's okay to give the admin username and password. So what's happening in the background is it's visiting the site, logging in, and making sure that the page has the appropriate elements in it.